नित्य लीला पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमान भक्ति वेदांत श्रील नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज के अभय चरण कमरों में अनंत कोटि साष्टांग दंडवत ज्ञापन प्रदान करता हूँ। तत्पश्चात नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमान भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज सत्य भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोस्वामी महाराज माधव महाराज तीर्थ महाराज नरसिंह महाराज सभी भक्तों सभी वैष्णव चरण के चरण कमलों में मेरा यथार्थ दंडवत प्रणाम स्वीकार है। अभी रामानंद प्रभु ने बहुत
Just now, Ramananda Prabhu, he very beautifully, he was speaking the glories, about the glories of holy names and the life, ideal life of Haridas Thakur. He didn't leave any tattva, like he didn't spare any subject, like he spoke everything. Actually, the holy names is the essence of our lives, of our lives. Actually, in Kali Yuga, all the sadhana which is prescribed for Kali Yuga, the highest one is chanting holy names. This is the essence. What is the essence of all the Veda, Puranas, and Upanishads? This one. How to chant holy names? Giving up the offenses. The people of this world, they are suffering the three kinds of miseries: Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibhautik. Since all the living entities, like even the ants, up until Brahma, everyone is suffering these three miseries of Maya. But if someone chants holy names and chant Shuddhanam, the pure name, Anale, do you know what is the meaning of Anal? It means the fire. If you pour water in the fire, so if you put pour water into the fire will be put out, extinguished. So these holy names, they are like the water. So if you pour this water of holy names into the fire of this material existence, automatically you'll feel the refreshment. That's why all the instructions that Mahaprabhu gave, the essence of all these instructions is how can we chant pure names, Shuddhanam. So one thing is Nama Parad, Nama Bhas, and Shuddhanam. So there's the Vyavadhan Yukta Nam. What is it? Varna Vyavadhan and Tattva Vyavadhan. What are the two kinds of Vyavadhan I just said? What is Vyavadhan? First, let's understand that. It's some obstacle, some separation. Vyavadhan is like when you separate. Like for example, if you say nowadays in the lockdown, everybody should sit separately, like social distancing. So this is Vyavadhan, like this distance. Social distance doesn't mean you're Shudra, you're Brahmana, you're Kshatriya, these things. No. Actually, this social distance that Upanishads are explaining is exactly this one, Vyavadhan. Means in the scriptures, when they say about the distancing, they use this word, Vyavadhan. And God created the 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams. And people, they fit into each of these categories of the Varnas and ashrams according to their guna and karma, according to their qualities and activities. So this Vyavadhan, this separation will be there, like a different categories, because people have different natures. If you don't have this nature of being a Brahmana, you have the nature of being a Shudra. So you're not a Brahmana. But maybe someone is born in a Shudra family, but he has the nature of a Brahmana. So he's a Brahmana. He's a Brahmana.
में जन्म लेते हुए पर
So even though he's born in a Shudra family,
यदि वो ब्राह्मण
even though someone is born in Shudra family, if he has the nature of being Brahmana, he's a Brahmana. Sorry. So Bhagavan explains about these Varnas and Ashrams. Like some jivas, they are tamasic, rajasic and sattvic, means in the mode of goodness, passion or ignorance. So according to this gunas, also you see the Varna and Ashram, according to the guna in which the person is living. Sorry. So now we are saying about this social distancing, right? Means to sit a little bit far from each other, to have some distance. So in the book Harinam Chintamani, these two Vyavadan are described. Which one is the two kinds? Varna Vyavadan and Tattva Vyavadhan.
वर्ण व्यवधान में किसी प्रकार से कोई नाम भी कर ले, नामाभास भी किसी प्रकार ही हो जाए.
Like Varna Vyavadhan is like, even if the person somehow he chants Namabhas, he'll be benefited. For Varna Vyavadhan, do you remember? The example is Hatikari. What is the word I said? Hey lawyer sir, what's the word I said? Hotikari. Is one word. Hotikari. So first syllable is ho. And last syllable? Ri. So actually Hotikari is Hari, this the name of God, but is separated by other syllables. So other syllables in the middle, right? After ho, you have the T, then the Ka, and last one is Ri. You're a lawyer, no? I was just about to say this. Very quickly you said, and very blissfully, like you understand. Very nice. So, but Tattva Vyavadhan, this separation in the Tattva, what is this? Mayavadi people, they chant holy names of God, they chant Lord's names, but they have Tattva Vyavadhan, means they don't believe in the transcendental form of God, in Lord's transcendental form. What is the fault of the Mayavadi people? Because, they also chant holy names, they serve the Thakurji. There's here, just nearby Mathura, they have the temple Krishna Balaram. There is a Mayavadi temple. So, okay, maybe they'll chant holy names in the opposite way. Like they chant backwards. Like for example, we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram after. But they chant opposite. They chant first. How do they do? They chant first Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, they chant opposite, but they chant the same name. They also do the chakra pratishtha, like they install the deities, they install the chakra, install the temples, they do all these things. I mean, they install the temple and they do everything. But the thing is, they don't believe that their deity is transcendental. They think the deity is a stone. It's stone. The Gyani people, they say, first in the beginning we don't have this Gyan, this knowledge, and our mind is not fixed. So if we serve this deity, slowly our mind will be into Brahma. So this deity is Brahma, they say. And there's only one Brahma and nothing second. There's no other thing. So their discussion about the Gyan, the knowledge, they discuss, and then they say when we will be very advanced. So if your mind is not fixed in Brahma, so okay, you serve the deity and all, but after that, after you achieve this, your mind is fixed in Brahma, then you don't need the deity. In Javadharma explains everything. For example, if you need to go to the roof, you can put some ladder and go to the roof. But after you attain, after you reach the roof, why do you need the ladder? You don't need the ladder to reach the roof. So in the same way, if your mind is still not into Brahma, in the Brahma, you know, so you continue doing this service to deity and everything. But this is imaginary, their conception, because this is not written in the Shastra. So their mat, their conception, opinion, is Kalpit mat. Kalpit means imaginary, mat means opinion. So that's why Shivji actually, Lord Shiva, he told to Dev Parvati, in Kali Yuga, I will I'll manifest in, and I will preach this Kalpit mat, these imaginary conceptions. Shiva himself, he told. So for example, if you need to go to the roof, okay, you need a ladder, and with the ladder you go to the roof. But after you don't need the ladder anymore, once you reach the roof. So until you're not Brahma, so you do the archan. And Shastra also say, only with the Gyan you cannot achieve liberation. So also you have to follow bhakti so that to achieve liberation, because Shastra explained this. Without bhakti you cannot achieve liberation. But they don't want to follow this, they have these imaginary conceptions. So I told they have this Vyavadhan. Which kind of Vyavadhan? The Mayavadi people. Tattva Vyavadhan. So the fault of the Mayavadi people is the monists, they don't accept the transcendental form of God. They don't want to accept the transcendental form of Lord. They say that Brahma is Niranjan, has no form, no inactivities. And they think that Brahma takes shelter of Maya and comes to this world to make very amazing deeds, like Ram and Krishna. And when they finish what they had to do, they think that God comes to this world in a Mayic form, like means a material body. And after they do what they have to do here, like Ram and Krishna, all of them, then they merge in Brahma and they leave this material body here. So this is the conception of Mayavadi people. But this is not written in the Shastra.
भगवान श्री हरि स्वयं ही जो उनके सच्चिदानंद विग्रह है। पहले मायावादी के दोष क्या है हमें इसको देखना।
Let's first understand the fault of the Mayavadis.
विग्रहत्व के जो है सच्चिदानंद स्वीकार नहीं करते।
They don't accept the transcendentality, or means they don't the transcendence of the form of Lord. They don't think Lord's form is transcendental.
और उनकी मूल मंत्र क्या है?
And what is their mantra?
ब्रह्म सत्य जगत मिथ्या जीव ब्रह्म ही पर न पर ब्रह्म ही एकमात्र सत्य है.
Brahma is the only truth.
जीव ब्रह्म सत्य जगत मिथ्या इस जगत में जो कुछ भी देख रहे हो
whatever is in this world is
असत्य है झूठा है.
Is lie, is a lie.
अजीब नाम से कोई वस्तु नहीं है.
And the jiva doesn't even exist. They think like this.
भागवत गीता में क्यों कहेगा मामा इवांश
So, but why then would God say in the Bhagavad Gita, Mama Ivamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhut? Because the Gita and the Bhagavata, they give evidence about the soul. If you read Bhagavata, actually they read Bhagavad Gita, the Mayavadis. Yesterday I was reading about that thing about Vishwarup Kaurav. Means when Mahaprabhu shaved his head because of his brother Vishwarup. So they actually this Ekadandi Sampradaya, they are called Ekadandi Sampradaya. They also take sannyas, but Ekdandi, only one danda, is one piece. Our danda is made of 3 parts. But there is only one, Ekdand. the stick of sannyasi.
ये
So
चातुर्मास्य जो पालन करते
they follow
हैं,
Chaturmasya,
2 महीने के अंदर
and every 2
2
months,
महीने के बाद ये लोग क्या करते हैं?
every 2 months they
गौरव कार्य करते हैं।
they shave their heads.
इस गौरव कार्य के ये लोग कहते हैं विश्व।
But this Kaurja Karya, this shaving of this time of Chaturmasya, they call Vishwarup Kaura Karja.
पश्चात
And after that,
क्या कार्य करते हैं?
they do another Karja, another shaving.
देव पे पूजा अर्चना आदि करते हैं, विष्णु पूजन करते हैं।
They also do the Vishnu Puja, Mayavadis,
गीता पाठ करते हैं।
and they read the Gita,
सब लोग गीता तो पाठ करते हैं।
They read Gita.
गीता की ये श्लोक के नहीं मानते।
but they don't believe in this sloka of the Gita.
मेरे ये पर आ जाए। इधर तो कार्य है भाई विश्वरूप खौरा।
Okay, they say about the Vishwarup Kaura.
विश्वरूप खौरा के पश्चात क्या करते हैं?
I mean, they shave their head because of Vishwarup, and then they read the Gita, they or worship Vishnu, but they don't believe in the purport of the Gita, because Gita is saying in the slok about the jivas. If the jiva is eternal, sanatana, how the jiva will become Brahma and be one with Brahma?
गीता में सारे श्लोक में तो अनेक श्लोक में कार्य है।
And Bhagavan also says in many slokas of the Gita, I am Bhagavan, I am the Supreme Lord. Isn't it? Worship me, I am the topmost. All the demigods and demigoddesses, they are my servants, das, dasi. Krishna says in many slokas of Bhagavad Gita, worship me like this, become my devotee. So, okay, but Mayavadis read Bhagavad Gita, but they don't accept the meaning of the Gita. They don't believe in it. So, what is this? They understand. This is the play of Maya, game of Maya. They know, but they don't believe. They don't accept it. The Pandits, they know everything, but they are not ready. They don't accept or they don't believe in it. So Bhagavan is saying, my Maya is so powerful, like so, that doesn't allow them to believe or to accept these truths. So this is Tattva Vyavadhan. To think that Jiva is Brahma. The Jiva will never become Brahma. What is Brahma? Brahma is the Anga Kanti, is the effulgence of God, Lord's effulgence. Effulgence of the body limbs of Krishna. The Bhagavatam explains. The Tattva Vastu means the Supreme Absolute Truth is only one. So God is only one, but in front of the Gyanis, he appears as like this Jyotirmoy Brahma, means this light, this effulgence. Okay, if you want to accept me as only this light, yes, I appear to you as this light.
वेदांत सूत्र आदि में भी ऐसे लिखे हैं। तो ज्ञानी के निकट इसे कहते जा रहे हैं। परमात्मावादी के निकट क्या कहते हैं?
So in front of the Paramatmavadi, in front of the yogis, God appears as the Paramatma, and in front of the devotees, he appears as Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan.
ब्रह्मेति परमात्मी भगवानिति शब्द, वो भगवान है। जब भगवान शब्द होता है उसमें क्या शब्द रहता है?
So when you say Bhagavan, he also means the 6 qualities. Bhagavan, Van means something takes shelter of that. So he has these 6 qualities. Yes. What are the 6 qualities?
ऐश्वर्य समग्र वीर्य यशस्वी ज्ञान वैराग्य चैव सन्न भव इति धना है, ये गुण रहता है। भगवान कहने से नहीं होता, इसलिए जीव के में ये 6 गुण पूर्ण मात्रा में नहीं हो सकता।
The jivas will never have these 6 qualities in full.
गिरिराज धारण करके दिखाए।
Okay, lift Giriraj for me to see then. Those Advaitavadis, the monists who say, oh, I'm Brahma, I'm God. Oh yeah, so lift Giriraj in front of me, please. Just lift Giriraj. Krishna, he drank the forest fire or not? Yes. Okay. But if you put this, just the cigarette fire on your mouth, let's see if it will burn or not. If your mouth will burn. What to speak of drinking the forest fire? A forest fire. Bhagavan, he told to his friends, close your eyes, and because otherwise you'll complain to your mothers, you'll tell about what I did. So actually, how many times Krishna drank the forest fire? 2 times, not only once. Not only once, Krishna twice he drank forest fire, the forest fire. Forest fire. So okay, they chant holy names opposite. First they chant Hare Ram, and then Hare Krishna. Okay, later we'll discuss about this, but another point is that what do? They have the Tattva Vyavadhan. Means they are separated because of their beliefs. They believe in different things. So they chant holy names. They don't chant pure holy names, but actually, if anyhow you chant once holy names, the holy name will give the fruits. Which fruit will give to them, for example? Will give, for example, material benefits, material fruits. Holy names will give material fruits, for example, wealth, money. And because of this wealth and material fruits, then these people will suffer even more, isn't it? But the holy names will never go in vain. If somehow, anyhow, if someone chants holy names, if one chants holy names, okay, if you chant holy names with offense, like Namaparad, you'll get the fruit or not? Okay, you're chanting holy names with offenses. Will you get the fruit? If you commit one offense, if you chant holy names criticizing Vaishnavas, this offense in particular, then you'll not get the fruits. But in other offenses, not like this, but this offense is criticizing Vaishnavas. If you chant and criticize Vaishnavas, finish. You'll not get the fruits. Example is Chapal Gopal. Chapal Gopal, he tried to make false allegations to Shrivas Thakur. He was trying to say that Shrivas Thakur was doing some Devi Puja and whole nights doing some puja, doing Tantra mantra, calling the ladies, dancing. He used to preach that, like to criticize, speaking these bad things, like false allegations, making up all these lies about Shrivas Thakur. And then, not satisfied with only that, he put all these ingredients for Devi Puja. He put in front of the house of Shrivas Thakur and called everyone and told everyone, look, you see how this Shrivas Thakur is. Actually, whole night, what is he doing there, like this, like speaking, making up bad things about Shrivas Thakur. When Mahaprabhu heard about this, he was so angry, because Shrivas Thakur is so pure, such an exalted devotee. Then Mahaprabhu told to this Chapal Gopal, you have leprosy. You will have leprosy. Because a person who criticizes Vaishnavas, not only in one life, 100 lives. No, sorry, I couldn't understand. I think 7 lives. Sorry, many lives he'll get this leprosy. And so his body was so like smelly, foul smell, bad smell, because of the leprosy. And people were like kicking him out from everywhere, So then he started living in the banks of the Ganges river. And every day Mahaprabhu used to go taking a bath in the Ganga. And this man, Chapal Gopal, was saying, Mahaprabhu, you, O Gaura Sundar, you gave mercy to everyone, but not to me. But Mahaprabhu said, yeah. 7. So that's 7 lives you have to suffer this leprosy, full of insects in your body, because you criticize Shrivas Thakur. Shrivas Thakur, there's anyone more dear to Mahaprabhu than Shrivas Thakur? He's Narada Rishi himself, but in Mahaprabhu Leela, he's Shrivas Thakur. Every day Mahaprabhu used to chant holy names in his house. When his youngest son died, not even once Srivas Thakur informed to Mahaprabhu when his son died. So Srivas Thakur has such a premic bhakta devotee with so much prem for Mahaprabhu. And this Chapal Gopal criticizing him, like making up bad things about him, like false allegations and everything. But Mahaprabhu is so merciful. After Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Mahaprabhu gave mercy to this Chapal Gopal.
तो ये समस्त लीलाओं दिखा रहे जे एक वैष्णव निंदु बिना सवाले आम्ही करीब हार महाप्रभु ने यही प्रतिज्ञा की.
So Mahaprabhu he made a vow.
वैष्णव निंदा छोड़
He swore.
जो वैष्णव निंदा करते हैं वैष्णव निंदु के छोड़ करके
Except for the people who criticize Vaishnavas, any other person who chants little bit holy names, I will give mercy to him if the person chants holy names. Except for those who criticize Vaishnavas. So Mahaprabhu is so merciful. Okay, if you have other aparadas, other offenses, like even the other nama aparadas, if you have, Mahaprabhu will forgive you. But one offense, he will not forgive. Vaishnava aparad. So you should never criticize a Vaishnava. If you don't like someone, or maybe you like someone, but don't criticize anyone. And never look to the face, not look at the face of some person who criticizes a Vaishnava.
वैष्णव परिस्थिति तो वैष्णव के फिर दूसरी वैष्णव के चरण में ये लिया कि नहीं लिया आश्रय लिया ना जैसे देवानंद पंडित
like Devananda Pandit.
के महाप्रभु किसने कृपा किया
Why Mahaprabhu gave mercy to Devananda Pandit later? Because
संबंध था पक्रेश्वर पंडित
Devananda Pandit, he took shelter of Vrakreshwara Pandit.
पंडित के साथ उनके मित्रता थी
I think the disciple of Vrakreshwara Pandit was friend with Devananda Pandit. And then after Devananda Pandit like took shelter of Vrakreshwara Pandit, then Mahaprabhu gave mercy to Devananda Pandit. Indra also, he also criticized the Vaishnavas. In the Bhagavatam is written how Indra criticized Krishna and the Vrajavasis. Indra insulted Krishna with many words, even insulted also Vrajavasis. You see, the father of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, worshipable, so worshipable by all beings. This shloka is exalting Nanda Maharaj. Whatever the Shruti or Smriti say, Mahabharata can say also anything, but I don't worship Krishna, I don't pray to Krishna, I worship to whom? I glorify to Nanda, worship I mean, to glorify. I glorify to Nanda Maharaj, because in his courtyard, Krishna is just rolling on the ground in that courtyard full of cow urine and cow dung. Okay, so the Veda Purana Upanishad glorified Nanda Maharaj, and this Indra he's criticizing Krishna and Vrajavas. Okay, Krishna might say, oh, if Indra criticizes me, okay, I'll forgive, he's foolish. Okay, if somebody criticizes Krishna, Krishna will forgive. He says, no, I can tolerate, no problem. But if somebody criticizes my devotee, I cannot leave that like without any results. I will. The person will suffer. But why Bhagavan gave mercy to Indra? Because Indra took shelter first. First Indra came to Brahma, and Brahma advised to Indra, saying, look, I also did offense one time. I thought that Krishna was an ordinary cowherd boy, but do one thing. Brahma told to Indra, you know who is the dearest of Krishna, you have to take shelter of that person who is dearest to Krishna. Who is the dearest to Krishna? Is the cow, mother cow, not the ordinary cow, Surabhi cow.
आपने जो बताया जिसने भी निंदक था जो भी था सब
So, all these people who criticized the Vaishnavas and then got the mercy of God later was because they somehow, they after took shelter of some Vaishnava. Understand? Because actually, Devananda Pandita did not criticize. He just was in silence. He was silent. Somebody was doing something wrong. But if you don't speak anything against, you are like agreeing. You are consenting, you know. If you become silent when you see somebody doing something bad, you're also consenting, like you are agreeing to that situation. Why did Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he left his house? Because the pujari of his house pujari, when that disciple of Nityananda Prabhu, what is his name? Miniketa Ramdas. The pujari did not honor to the... What is the name of the pujari? I just spoke his name. So the pujari was serving the Thakurji, and then this Miniketa Ramdas, disciple of Nityananda Prabhu, came. He was always absorbed in Nityananda, and he used to take a flute in his hand wherever he would go. Miniketa Ramdas, he had so much affection to Nityananda Prabhu. And he used to touch the people with these flutes, and prema would come to this person. So he was not an ordinary person. And then the pujari, the pujari in the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, what happened? When Miniketa Ramdas came, the pujari didn't give any honor, like he didn't speak to him, oh, where are you coming from? Take some water, sit down. No, he didn't, ignored him. So then Miniketa Ramdas told this pujari is the second Lomar Hasan. And Miniketa Ramdas, he left. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he came to his house back, and his brother told him, yeah, because I don't have faith in Nityananda, only in Mahaprabhu. After listening to this, Krishnadas Kaviraj was so sad, so upset. So he was thinking, what is the use of staying in this house if people here are not honoring Nityananda Prabhu? Nityananda Prabhu, who is a Kanda Guru Tata, the undivided principle of the Guru. If they are not honoring my Guru, they're nothing to me. That's why in the early morning today I said that Sanatana Das told in the last line of this music, this kirtan, he's saying, in the last line of this song, this kirtan is saying, those who honor my Guru and glorify my Guru, I put their feet on my head. I keep their feet on my head. So when Gurudev preached in the Western countries, Gurudev used to glorify to whom when he was preaching? He used to glorify Srila Swami Maharaj. I saw this, that when Gurudev was giving class in any place, maybe for 5 or 7 days, in the last 2 days, okay, Gurudev used to have 7 days program in some country, Western country. First day Gurudev arrives, and also in last day also Gurudev is going. Farewell, the farewell. Speaking just a little bit katha. So okay, so 7 days program, first day beginnings, last day farewell. So 5 days Harikatha, but in these 5 days, 2 days, Gurudev was describing only about Srila Swami Maharaj. Because all the disciples, many disciples of Swami Maharaj at the time, they were scattered. Some they had gone to the Babajis, some they had gone to like different ways, different things. And they were maybe in different groups. They were so polluted, like their minds contaminated with also other bad associations from other groups, other people. Some were staying in Radhakunda, some with the Babajis, and they gave up Swami Maharaj. Many, they had left Swami Maharaj. So for 2 days, Gurudeva used to only glorify Swami Maharaj, saying, "Your Gurudev is not ordinary. He's an Nityasiddha Parikar, eternal associate." So Gurudev used to give this evidence according to the Shastra. That's why everyone took shelter of Gurudev. That's why. Gurudeva never said, "Give up your guru and come to me." Gurudeva never said this. Gurudeva used to say, "Yes, you took Diksha. You took Diksha from Swami Maharaj. Continue chanting that mantra. And keep him as your guru." Yes. Consider him as your guru. Gurudeva didn't give re-initiation. It's not necessary re-initiation. If you have faith in me, you can take Shiksha from me, instruction, if you have faith. And there's no difference between Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. There's no difference between Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. You should never ever give up your Diksha Guru. In any circumstance, you should not give up your Mantra Diksha Guru. Only in 3 occasions, 3 circumstances, you have to give up your Guru. If the Guru criticizes Vaishnavas, Vaishnav Nindu. If he criticizes Vaishnavas, second, if he's actually Mayavadi, and third, if this Guru is Asadgami, means he falls down. If the Guru falls down, like of his vows and everything, so you have to again take shelter in the bona fide Vaishnav Guru. If he doesn't have these 3, any of these 3 circumstances, you should never give up him. Even if the Guru is Madhyamadhikari, you should not give up on him. You should not give him up. And if you get a better Guru according to Tattva, you can just take Shiksha from this other Guru. Who was the Guru of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Diksha Guru? Jadunandana Acharya. He took Diksha from Jadunandana Acharya, Raghunatha Dasa. But he took Shiksha from whom? Mahaprabhu, Swarupa Damodara, Raya Ramananda. And after they disappeared, also he associated with Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. But how much relationship did he have, Raghunatha Das had with Rupa Goswami? But he never gave up his own Diksha Guru. That's why in the book Mukta Charit, Raghunatha Das Goswami, he wrote this slok: Namashrestam Manu Api.
देखो ये गुरुजी वंदना अपने जुदनंदन आचार्य दीक्षा गुरु के बारे में कह रहे हैं।
So
आज मैं पढ़ रहा था ये
today I was reading that when Rupa Goswami he left, Sanatana also left.
उनकी विरह में विशेषकर रूप गोस्वामी की विरह में जो श्लोक जो लिख रहे हैं।
So this shloka he said, he wrote in separation. Which shloka?
अरे विरह की जो श्लोक,
that separation shloka, Viraha shloka.
सुन्नायते महादुष्टम गिरिंद्र अजगरायते व्याघ्रकुंड तुंडायते विरह में इसे बंद किया। जिस गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ने स्तुति किया। So
this Giriraj that Raghunatha Das Goswami, before he was praising so much,
कितना सुंदर श्लोक है। मैं बंद कर देता
Yeah, let's do Arati. I'll
हूँ।
finish.
गिरिराज गोवर्धन के क्या
So,
करें?
this Giriraj,
नाते महागुष्टम गिरिंद्र अजगरायते, जिस ब्रज के उन्हें कितने स्तुति किया,
so he praised so much this Braj before Raghunatha Das Goswami.
कितने सुंदर है। ब्रज की स्तुति क्या किया रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी, बोलो।
Which kind of stuti to Vraj he made, Raghunatha Das?
ये ब्रज के जो मैं बार-बार जो श्लोक के बोलता
That
रहता
slok, I always say this that slok,
ये ब्रज में जितने भी कीड़े मकड़े सब क्या है,
that all the insects in Vraj, they are favorable to Krishna pastimes.
ब्रह्मादि सुस्प्रेण मदियांत बंद बंदते है। ब्रज के कीड़े मकड़े जो है, यहाँ की स्पाइडर से लेकर के
Even
सर्प सब क्या है,
spiders,
कृष्ण लीला,
the scorpions, all the living beings in Vrindavan, they are favorable to Krishna's pastimes.
और वही ब्रज के कहते हैं आज ये ब्रज कैसे लग रहे हैं, शमशान भूमि के
But Raghunatha Das Goswami later he says, now this Vraj is like just a cemetery.
गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जितनी स्तुति आदि की, और गिरिराज गोवर्धन
Before he used to praise Giriraj so much, but now he's saying, you know, this Giriraj is just like the mouth of the python coming to swallow me up. That Radhakunda, that he never gave up, like he was always in Radhakunda. No, Raghunatha Das Goswami, he would praise Radhakunda so much with beautiful prayers before. But now this Radhakunda, he's saying, this Radhakunda is the mouth, the open mouth of a tiger coming to swallow me up also. So this is stage of separation. So beautiful.
इसलिए रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी की जीवन चरित्र के
So we see
जीवन चरित्र और उनकी आदर्श एक
the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. His life is incomparable.
उसकी कोई तुलना नहीं दे
Cannot compare to anything else.
इतना सुंदर जो है रघुनाथ दास के जीवन चरित्र है।
So beautiful, this life history of Das Goswami.
ये नाम के द्वारा ही रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी करें, ये मुझे ये जो संग प्राप्ति हुई।
So Raghunath Das Goswami says, I got this sangha of all these devotees actually because of the mercy of my Guru Pada Padma.
महाप्रभु के संग,
He got the mercy of Mahaprabhu. He got the chance to live in Vrindavan, in Radhakunda.
और हरि नाम,
He got the holy names, Maha Mantra,
नाम मंत्र जो कुछ
Nama Mantra, whatever he's got. It was by whose mercy? By mercy of his Guru,
गुरु वैष्णव
Jadunandanacharya. So we should never criticize Guru Vaishnavas. This is our topmost goal, is never criticize Guru Vaishnava. My Gurudev used to say, chant less holy names, no problem. If you cannot chant so much holy names, no problem. But never ever criticize a Vaishnava.
है, इसे कहते हैं वैष्णव निंदा छोड़ करके
So
है हरि नाम करना चाहिए।
you should chant holy names without criticizing any Vaishnava. Just one thing, because yesterday in the translation of the class, not yesterday, it is in the morning, now, today is, which day? That's in the last kata, 10th September, morning time, Gurudev was speaking about he was speaking about Prem Samput, and he was saying about this thing about the healthy, about our health, which kind of body is healthy, like how to keep a healthy body, and I didn't translate properly at that time, so I'm just gonna speak now about this very quickly. Gurudev was saying, and also I made some mistakes, so forgive me please for that. So Gurudev was saying that to keep a healthy body, our head three things are important. Our head should always be cool, right? And then he said like fresh, cool, like cold. And then he gave the example that if someone has hot head, sometimes you even insult people like this. Like you have hot head, hot tempered, like somebody who is so much angry like this. So that's why our head should always be fresh and like cold. And our feet should always be warm. To be a healthy person, your feet should always be warm. He was explaining this because he was saying that when you have fever, this fever begins in the feet, actually. When we have fever in our body, this temperature actually is starting from the feet. Then he was explaining this, because our feet when we have a health body, our feet should be warm. And then he said about the belly. So he was saying about the belly, our stomach, the belly. He said the belly should always be soft, soft. Then he gave the example. This part I want to explain because in the translation I didn't say that time. in the last Harikatha, because what happens if you go to the doctor and the doctor, why the doctor, they like press our belly. When you go to the doctor, they are like massaging the belly, not massaging, they like depressing your belly, isn't it? Why they do that? Because they have to check if your belly is hard or like tight, or if it is soft, tender, you know, because a symptom of good health is if your belly is soft, tender. Because if your body, suppose your belly is tight, Gurudev was saying this, okay? Suppose your belly is tight. This means that something bad is in your stomach, like in your belly. For example, maybe you're not going to the bathroom properly, like number 2, evacuating properly. You're not passing stool properly. So you have something is not good in your belly, then your belly becomes tight. So you can check early in the morning, he was saying, after you go to toilet, then your belly will be soft. So this is a symptom of good health, is if your belly is soft. Belly hard is not good. So he was saying, so head should always be cold, belly should always be soft, and feet should always be warm. This is a symptom of good health. This is for a health body according to Ayurvedic Shastra. Gurudev explained this today, early in the morning. So just to make this clear, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai.